Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Wow, today is truly, we're just in this new revolution in terms of AI tools that you can actually 25x your productivity in writing and winning contracts in your business. Now, this is truly a new milestone. You know, I've always been the type that sits down and it takes me it takes me weeks. When I say weeks, it takes you have to give yourself usually about a month to write a good contract, for example, minimum. And really, you should really give yourself 6 weeks when it's one person doing it. And what usually happens is that you usually write the contract, and then from that point, you then give it to one of your other bid writers just to go through it and to check through it, just to make sure that everything makes sense. So everybody has little parts that they have to do within the contract writing process, for example. And what we usually do is we use our previous content as well, because sometimes you can match them up. So we have like a doc that has previous tender questions with answers, for example. And we create this so that we've got our winning formula, for example. But with this AI tool, these tools, they can actually be your contracts team. You know, I'm just flabbergasted because I am absolutely amazed at what is actually happening with AI. I didn't realize how advanced it was, to the point where it's like one person can do it and then you've got the AI to do the rest, your other departments that you have or used to have. So can you imagine how much that this is saving a company? And really, you can use your top tier team members that can be more productive as well. Okay, so I want to talk to you today about some tools that I think is truly, truly amazing. There's lots of tools. To be quite honest with you, there's about 25 that I've been going through at the moment. 25 tools. And it's hard to decide because it all depends on the size of your business, whether you're small, medium, or large. So these tools will help you, and they all talk to one another. For example, these AI tools, I'm referring to. It is just remarkable. And I've just heard about in America how Donald Trump has said that they're investing 500 billion. Did you hear me? 500 billion. Donald Trump is going to be investing in AI in America to help with, it's going to, according to Donald Trump, is going to create jobs for people. It is also they're going to create an AI plant, which obviously is going to be for energy generation. And it's just amazing how much people are investing in AI right now. 500 billion, Donald Trump said tonight, is going to be invested in the United States. Now, I don't know how much is being invested in the United Kingdom because Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, didn't mention that. He said that AI was going to be UK's superpower. But now I'm listening to what Donald Trump has just said. I'm not so sure now. because he's got people that, for example, the direct CEO from OpenAI, then there was a bank, then there was the gentleman that is very fond of Donald Trump. I can't remember his name, so please forgive me for this. I don't mean that. It's just I just listened to it. I didn't write down the names of anything. It was just I quickly listened to it for 4 minutes. It was a short, and that was it. So if I've missed any names off, I'm going to put it here when I've finished anyway, because I don't like to miss anyone's names off. So do forgive me. I am human. I'm not a robot. I'm not AI. I am Christine, and I can, forget things as well. Okay? I'm not a guru. But I wanted to mention this because they're going to call it Stargate, and it's Trump. He announced that 500 billion was being invested into this company called Stargate for AI. So UK, I don't know how much you're investing in AI, but I think you've probably got, you've got competition there, big time. So let me carry on anyway, because today is about AI tools and how you can 25x your productivity in winning contracts in your business. When I talk about this, I am just so excited. So I'm going to go from my words that I did earlier, because otherwise I'll go off on a tangent, and I want to try and stay on track. Okay, now this really is about you stop struggling to win contracts the old way, because I've been there, I've done it, worn the t-shirt. It can be quite draining when you're doing multiple contracts. Now, the future of contract management is here, and it is so much better because I'm actually using it as well, and it is powered by AI. And tonight I'm going to be sharing with you some of the names of the game-changing AI tools. Now, like I said, on Saturday I'm going to be doing 2 hours here on Saturday, because at 2 p.m., for example, UK time, because I want to be able to show you how it works. And contract management must be done properly so that you keep on track with your contracts that you want to apply for, and have a 12-month plan of the contracts that you ideally want to apply for, because sometimes contracts are open for a number of years. Sometimes contracts can be, okay, you've got a month to do it, for example. Or maybe you've expressed an interest and they said, we'll let you know when it's out, when it's ready, for example, and then you get that email, and then it's like, right, you need to submit this within 7 days, for example. So there's various ways, but you've got to have contract management so that you can keep track of where you are with a particular contract. So stick around to the end of this session so that I can talk to you about the tools and the strategies to take your contract management from average to extraordinary. And I also want to be able to share with you on Saturday, for example, about winning those high stake contracts. Okay, so let's face it, traditional contracts processes are slow. They can be tedious and also prone to mistakes. But with AI, you can automate the heavy lifting, focus on your strategy, and deliver proposals that win. Because when you're doing contracts, you've got to think about what your pricing are. What are your prices? You've got to make sure your prices are competitive. You've got to explain the reasons why you're charging what you're charging, and you've got to break everything down to the last penny when you're dealing with government contracts, because they want to ensure that it is for value, for example. So there's not just that, but there's also the fact that how you're going to deliver the contract. Who's going to be in charge of the contract? What are the roles going to be within that contract, for example? And also, who's going to deliver what at what time, for example? And what happens if things go wrong? How are you going to cope with it? Because things can go wrong. So how will you cope with it in your business, for example? Just got something in my eye here. Just bear with me a second. So this is where you're like an octopus in your business when you are doing the contracts, or maybe you're the bid writer, for example. So this is where AI tools come in handy, and it will transform your contract management. So here are some tools that you may need for when you're wanting to win a contract, okay? Some of the things you need to think about to have in your arsenal, as they say: your AI-powered documentation, automation, for example. Tools like there's DocuSign, there's PandaDoc, for example. There's various platforms out there as well. But I'm going to be going through this on a regular, because I'm going to be going live daily, and I'm going to be informing you so that you use the right tools that feels right for you, for example. So there's enhanced data analysis like Power BI, for example, to analyze key data and make smarter, faster decisions, and also negotiations for your business, for example. There's also AI strategies that you can use, like risk assessments, for example, that can spot any red flags before they become issues. So this will also save you money and also protect your business. There's AI-driven contract review. Manual reviews are history now. They really are. Tools like there's Kira systems, which can be used for legal but compliance, and also they also catch critical errors in record time, because sometimes when the buyer, for example, and you're the supplier, you're supplying the contract, sometimes the buyer could actually make an error as well, and there could be something wrong in a particular contract that could be damaging to you at some stage. Could be, for example. So it is good as well for the buyers as well as the supplier, like you, if you are the company, the business, the care business, for example. But AI is for every type of business. Contracts is for every type of business, but I specialize in healthcare, and I have done so for 35 years. So I've had my own healthcare businesses. I've been through 3 recessions in my healthcare businesses, for example. So I've been in the trenches, and it's been very hard work. And this is why I'm so passionate and excited about AI, how it can help business owners like you, for example, or even if you're a manager, or maybe you're a contracts writer or something like that, it will help you. So there's also predictive analysis as well. Forecast your success with tools that you can use for contract bidding. And it will give you knowledge, because knowledge is power. If you can do analytical data without you physically having to do research, and you're getting this research from that research from that location, this research from this location, this research from that location, you can just do it. AI can just do it for you, and you will get the answers within minutes, if not seconds. Whereas with us, it will take us probably a whole week or so to get the data of the location of where you want to provide the service to. And yes, they do provide you with a PowerPoint presentation and information about the locality and what they're looking for and what the situation is and what the crisis is at the moment, for example. But wouldn't it be nice if you also did it and you understood? You can drag those and get those presentations, you can get those documents, get those analytical information, and it goes into your treasure box. I'm going to call it treasure box because I call it my treasure box, because it's only me that gets to see this treasure box, for example, because it's precious. So you'll be able to gather all of this information, and you will be so powerful when you are responding to the tender questions that you will know exactly what the buyer is looking for. You cannot rely 100% and think that AI is going to do everything for you, because you got to be answerable to what percentage of the contract, possibly the government could ask that question, was used for you to get the answers, was used by AI, for example. So you're getting this information, you're absorbing it, you're looking at it, and it's bringing a report together for you to enable you to be able to respond effectively to each of those questions, for example, just to make sure that you are still on the right track. Because you can get something, but you can also reword it as well. Okay, so let me just grab my tea here. Hope everyone's got their tea or coffee. So there's so many predictive analytics that you can get AI-wise. And like I said, on Saturday, I'm going to be going through tools. Every Saturday, I'm going to be going through, because there's hundreds of tools. So I'm not here to just go through everything with you now, but there's so many different tools that can help you in when you're doing contracts, to win contracts, to help you to be 25x more productive. It's like you've got 25 staff members and it's just you, but you've got AI, for example. So like I said, I'm going to be doing a real live demo on Saturday of how this works, because I want you to see how things can be generated, for example. So I want to show you something simple, for example, that I can show you on Saturday, for example, because I'm not going to give you all of my treasure box, because that's why you need to attend our boot camp that we hold every month. But this is our first ever of its kind AI boot camp, which is for contracts and also for audit, AI audit implementation in your business, for example. This is the first of its kind for 2025 in healthcare, and I'm going to be running it. And I want to be able to share this with you, because I don't want you to do things the hard way. You don't need to do it the hard way anymore. It's time for you to start enjoying what you're doing. And yes, we feel great when we've completed and submitted a contract. You feel great, but when you've got multiple contracts on the go, sometimes it can be stressful, for example. And then sometimes when you're looking at hundreds of pages of documents, they can all blend in to one. So you've got to make sure you space your time out and take your breaks at the right time in order to be able to respond effectively and not get to the point where you're rushing, like it becomes a race at the end. With AI, you don't have to do that or experience that. Okay, so it brings realistic pictures to you. So AI for strategic advantage is for you. This is the bigger picture for you. So AI, it doesn't just save you time, it gives you a competitive edge with tools like, there's tools like Crayon, and I'm going to go through all of these different tools. So I may be talking to you and you think, what is that? What is that? What is that? But I will be putting some links here as well. Okay, look, there's Salesforce AI, where you can build a client relationship that will seal the deal every time. But Salesforce has got an AI called Agent Force, AI Agent Force as well. And that is new. So that's the CEO of Salesforce. So thinking about the barriers that you might be facing, where you're looking at, how am I going to adopt this into my business, AI? Are you worried about implementation of these tools? Because you're not alone. It's new. I was kind of like, I'm not sure. I don't really, I prefer humans, for example, which I do, for example. But, this has opened my eyes. Over the past year, it really has opened my eyes. And many businesses do hesitate, because I was once like that. Just over a year and a half ago. But I'll show you how you can, just by doing a small investment, you'll be investing wisely in these tools online, for example, and you'll build a system that will work for you in your business, for example. So when you're looking at whether you need AI in your business or not, let's go through the AI roadmap with you here, okay? To win contracts with AI, you need a plan, right? And I'm going to give you some things to think about, okay? So what is it? What are your pain points in your business when it comes to doing contracts? What do you struggle with? Because there's a lot of repetitive tasks in there. Even though you've done contracts over and over and over again, for example, this is why you need AI to do the simple things where it just slips into that document, that contract document, so you're not having to manually put the information in yourself, for example. There's certain parts that you can automate it, for example. So what you also need to think about is you need to look at choosing the right tool for your business. Now, when I was looking at implementing AI, it was just coming out. It was beta, and it was in 2023. Yes, it was 2023. And at the time, it wasn't great, because I did a demo, for example, and I wasn't happy with it because it was losing data, for example, and that concerned me, and it was hard to get the data back, for example. But it's moved on leaps and bounds from then. I mean, look, we're 2 years later, and look, I'm here smiling. I'm like, yes, get it, use it. It is good. And look, I write contracts. I'm not saying this to stop me from doing it. I just want you to have this same facility as what that I'm using now, for example. Depends what time you've got, for example. But like I said, choose the right tool that's for your business. You want to make sure that if you're a small business, that you choose the one that's for small business. If you're medium, you choose the one that's for medium. If you're large, you choose the one for large. There's different rates for different size business, for example. But you can also train your team with the resources that you can teach them how to use it, for example, but the companies usually also train you as well. So measure success and adapt continuously. This isn't a quick fix, it's a long-term strategy for success in your business. And this is why I'm talking about implementing it now, so that you can get used to using it, and then it's just going to become a part of you. It's just going to be natural. Because if you leave it too late, then it's going to be harder to implement, for example. Depends how big you are in your organization. So if you just started, it's a lot easier than someone who's a large organization. They've got to transfer all of this data over into the AI, for example. So can you imagine, right, that using AI tools, that you go from submitting 5 tenders a year to submitting 15? That's doubling your revenue, right? In just 6 months, for example. And this is how I see your organization. One person can submit 15. I always say in my boot camps that you should be looking to submit 1 contract a month, for example. But it depends how big the contract is, because some of them are hundreds of pages. So depending on the size of the contract, like this, for example, that I'm explaining to you is a large contract. So you can submit 15 a year, for example. Okay? So it will double your revenue as well. And I think that is a really good reason to get AI for contract purposes. I've talked about for invoicing, I've talked about for rostering, I've talked about for scheduling, I've talked about for voice, for communication, someone who can pick the phone up, someone who can do on-call 24/7, for example, for your company, and also that reaches out to your staff members so that things are being covered and things are being dealt with quickly. Clients are being called, for example, emailed. It's just amazing, all the different tools. I've been working with, I think it was 12 tools that I've been working with, and I will list them on Saturday, for example. But what I want to do is on a Saturday, I want to spend like 2 hours, for example, going through each of the tools, for example. But in my boot camp, I really go in depth. But on the Saturday, I will go through the tools because I want you to be able to understand what they are, for example. And then you may look at wanting to have an AI audit or have it implemented in your business, which is what we specialize. We're an AI automation agency because we got to move with the times. We cannot stay stagnant. We move with the times. And I'm here to make your life easier, for example, not harder. When I was doing it many years ago, it was hard, very hard. So what I really want to say to you is that I want you to really find what works for you. So I'm offering you a free AI audit guide, for example, to get you started. But what I want you to do is I want you to book a free 15-minute appointment with me so that I can go through the audit checklist with you, for example, so that we can talk about what audit or what type of AI is needed in your business, because this is quite specialized. For example, I don't want to just say here you go and then you pick something that might not be right for you. I don't want to just stick it here in the description. I want to be able to talk to you, not to sell it to you, but to talk to you, to make you aware of what might be the best option for you. And yes, of course, I'm here to make money as well. And for those of you that are interested in having a, an AI implementation strategy, then that's what I'm here for too. But I don't want to just stick something here in the description and say download this, and then you don't know where you are and what you're doing, and who you're going to speak with, and because there's a whole list of organizations as well that do AI tools. Like I mentioned yesterday and today, I mentioned Microsoft Copilot. I mentioned Perplexity. I mentioned Gamma AI. I mentioned Notebook LM, for example. I've mentioned quite a few things. And I've mentioned ChatGTP, for example. I've mentioned about the different tools that you can use. There's Asana. There's Microsoft 365. There's Teams. There's so many different AI tools, but it all depends which one you want to use. There's AI for your payroll. There's AI for invoicing. And, I've talked about factoring. I've talked about invoicing. I've talked about finance. And the reason why I'm so strong on this is because I want you to be able to put money aside each month to save money in your business bank account, so that if you get hit by a challenge or an expense that was unexpected, it doesn't wipe you out. You'll be able to stand and deliver with ease, because inflation's here. So we got to look at how we can make savings, for example. But you've got to know how to use things, because otherwise you're going to feel overwhelmed. So I don't want to just say go and grab it and get it when you don't know how to use it and how it's going to benefit your organization. So I want to be able to talk to you about these different AI tools to do with contracting and contract management to enable you to be very strong in your organization. And I've got like I said, there's hundreds of AI tools, but it's the right ones for healthcare businesses that I'm referring to, for care businesses, because you want to be able to leverage AI, and you want to be able to look at what it's going to do for your organization. What role is it going to play in you analyzing and looking at negotiating your scenarios, for example, within your business, especially when you're doing contract, answering tender questions. There's going to be different scenarios that you're going to need to be able to answer in order to win that contract, for example. So these tools are like your assistant, and it supports your strategy for development in your business. AI wants you to grow, and ultimately it's improving your outcomes for the clients that you serve, for example, and also better contract terms. So there's AI for compliance, for monitoring. Compliance is vital, isn't it? In care business, in contract management as well, to avoid legal issues. So there's so many tools, AI tools. There's Comply, Advantage, for example. There's this goes into regulations effectively. There's AI that can significantly reduce compliance compliance risk as well. So this ensures that you are adhering and protecting the business interests. So AI in contract lifecycle management, it's here. It's a tool that will streamline your entire contract cycle. It's changing. The paradigms are changing and we've shifted into this. And I believe it's for the better. So from creation to contract renewal, it's going to help you. And there's so many tools out there that will enhance your management efficiency, ensuring smoother transitions through each stage and improving overall contract performance. It's a win-win situation, and the future trends in AI and contracts, emerging AI technologies are set to revolutionize contract management. So this is such an advancement for you in the tools, and it will enhance your efficiency and accuracy in your business, and you'll be staying updated and ahead with the trends, and it can significantly benefit businesses' competitive edge. When you talk about this in your case studies, when you're doing contract, answering tender questions, your contract management, you've got case studies, successful case studies that you'll be able to use, real world examples to demonstrate how your business is effectively using AI tools to enhance contract management. And also it will increase your efficiency in your business to reduce your costs, encouraging your buyers, for example, because you're the supplier, to do business with you. They'll see you as the only logical choice. Like I said, we've got the UK. I mean, it's around the world. AI is around the world. But the UK and America, Donald Trump saying today, 500 billion, not million, billion dollars is being invested in AI. The UK say, Prime Minister Keir Starmer says that UK is going to be a superpower for AI. So it seems like the race is on for this. These plants that they're building for robotic, for AI, it's here. It's here. They've already released robots already into these factories. And some of you may be working in it, I don't know. But all I know is that AI, these tools that I'm using, is helping business owners as well as my business as well. So I just wanted to do that quick discussion with you and to really get you intrigued about AI and to see how it can benefit you in your business. What I'd love for you to do, if you found this valuable today, if you could press like and subscribe if you haven't done so that you get all the updates of when I go live or when I've published a video, for example. I also want to say thank you to everyone that subscribed to the channel, and also for your likes and your comments, for example. And I just want you to be aware of this AI tool and how it can transform your business, especially when you're doing contracts. It can transform all parts of your business anyway. It is just amazing what it can do. So I hope you'll be able to join me tomorrow. I'm going to be going live again tomorrow. I'm going to upload a video as well. But like I said, I hope you'll be able to join me Saturday. I'm going to be doing 2 hours, and I'm going to be going through some of the tools with contract management, how it can help you. Because when you're looking at answering a tender question, it's the approach, it's mirroring what the buyer wants. But also there's things like pen picture. How do you create that big picture for being strategic when you're answering a tender question? And I'll go through that. We call it, in the UK, we call it the pen picture, for example, but it really is like you're telling a story. You know, you've got the presentations, the AI that can do the presentations for your company, that is also going to be submitted as part of your tender submission. It's just remarkable what it can do. It can do the graphics, it can do the evidence, it can do the analytical, it can do the research. It can do so much for you that it would take you ages to do. So I wanted to just reach out and say thank you so much for listening to me tonight and for being part of this channel. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. I appreciate every single one of you spending the time to be here today. And what I want to say to you is that let's unlock AI and start winning contracts now. Because with AI, you're able to do that. You can create that with these tools. And it's just going to get you stronger and stronger and stronger, because you'll be listening to it. You'll also be understanding it more the more that you do it. And it doesn't cost a lot of money. Just to let you know, it's a monthly cost, for example. And they all range from different prices as well. So I hope that you found it helpful today, and thank you so much for being here today. I've really enjoyed talking to you about this because I'm super excited about AI and what it can do in your business, for healthcare providers, for business owners, for managers, for staff members, for supervisors. It can do so much. We don't have to do things the hard way anymore. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to speaking with you all tomorrow. I'll be going live again at 7 p.m. UK time. That's 2 p.m. American time. It really depends where you are in the world, for example, but when I say American time, I mean New York or Atlanta time, for example. Those are two places I know because I've lived there, for example, for 10 years or more. So thank you so much, and it's been I've really enjoyed being here today talking to you about AI, and I can't wait to show you the presentation on Saturday. I hope that you'll enjoy it, because I'm excited to share with you what it can do. All right, so thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening or afternoon if you're afternoon, or morning if you're morning, and I will speak to you on the internet. Speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye.